Now, the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Africa have embarked on an energy partnership which would see the development of the world's largest hydroelectric plant. The Grand Inga Dam has a planned power output of almost 40,000 megawatts. And we caught up with Tupua Peters, South African Minister of Energy, for more.
As South Africa, we are very excited about our ability to collaborate and cooperate with the Democratic Republic of Congo on the development of the Grand Inga, which is going to be a massive development, for your information. About 40,000 megawatts from the Grand Inga that will be developed in phases. And I'm happy to indicate that after working for a very long time on the MOU, which is something that we started actually long before we finally signed the MOU in 2011 November. And now we, in March, signed off the draft treaty, which is now going through the cabinet processes of both countries. The draft treaty has made it possible for us to work on a phased approach, because this is a massive development. It is going to help us to meet our long-term mitigation scenario targets for greenhouse gas emission reduction. So it is actually a contribution to reducing the impact of climate change. But also, remember, in our climate change response strategy, as well as the COP17 conference that of the parties that we held here in South Africa, we committed ourselves as South Africa to say we will have legacies out of the COP17. And this is one of those that President Zuma identified as a legacy project. We are very happy that we could be working on this initiative. And the first phase is a phase that speaks to about 4,800 megawatts. And South Africa identified about 2,500 megawatts for itself, because you know that South Africa has got serious capacity challenges, and we need to drive the process for building more generation capacity. And if it is clean power, it is even better. But also the interesting part of this project, it's its catalytic capabilities. It is a catalytic project to integrate the 5 power pools of the continent. But it's also a catalytic project because it can unlock the mining and other mineral beneficiation potential of the continent. So you see energy as an instrument for uniting the continent. For us, it is a very, very interesting project.
Well, it's no secret that South Africa's power situation is in a precarious state. This partnership aims to assist the energy situation. The minister touched upon the situation in South Africa and how this partnership will assist it.
We have a very huge demand. Our people are used to having access to energy. Our industries are energy intense. Our sectors, all of them are energy intense. As we speak, today our demand forecast is about 33.4 gigawatts, and already it shows that the demand or in terms of the consumption or actual demand that people will need is about 30.6. So it means our reserve margin will be about 2.9% gigawatts. So we are a bit worried that that reserve margin, which is what we have in place for when the supply gets short, it becomes a challenge. In the evenings between 5 and 9, South Africa and South Africans consume more power than all our neighbors combined. And we are appealing to South Africans to say, let us be realistic, because this resource is also dependent on our ability to generate, our ability to transmit, and our ability to distribute. At the same time, whilst we have these challenges, we have people who deliberately interrupt the supply. They interrupt the supply by stealing the cable. They interrupt the supply by stealing electricity in itself, which we call the technical leakages. So we say to our people, if you stop stealing electricity, if you stop stealing cables, we would be able to have enough supply for the people of South Africa, but also to be able to make sure that we supply you. We're also saying we are worried about our people who don't have access in the rural areas in particular.